Yo book nerds, I finished reading AKATA Woman by Nnedi Okorafor. This is the final book in that trilogy, and I didn't dislike it. I'm gonna say that off the bat. I did enjoy it. However, I definitely enjoyed books 1 and 2 a lot more. This one just didn't quite hit the same notes for me as those first 2 books. This is still a fantasy book exploring similar themes as the first 2. There is still Juju, and we're still following Sunny, and we've got the whole gang, and it's a lot of fun. I liked having them back again. But this book is a little bit different than the first 2 books. So even though it's still fantasy, this is definitely a quest type of fantasy. There is a lot of walking, and man, oh man, does it take a while. I will be super honest with you guys, I do not read a lot of fantasy. And the only quest fantasy that I've ever read is The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Like, that is it. So, I don't necessarily know that that is for me. I loved The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings. Loved it. This got to be a little bit, I don't know, dull, confusing. This got to be just a little bit much for me. And I'll explain that in a little bit. Some other interesting things that I did like about this book, you get to learn a little bit more about Sasha in this book, and you get to explore his ancestry. Some of his ancestors were slaves. So that was very interesting to learn. I liked that section. So I liked getting more about Sasha. COVID-19 is also mentioned in this book, which apparently COVID-19 kind of gave the author time to write because we were all on lockdown, because this came out in, let me see, this came out in 2022. So like, that was interesting because this is like really the first fiction book that I've read that has mentioned COVID-19. I have seen it mentioned in a couple nonfictions already, but this is the first fiction book. Other things that I did like about this book, a big theme is about rising to your full potential and not selling yourself short. I liked that. It's all about Sunny rising up, and I liked that. Another theme is about paying for the sins of others. And so the whole quest that they're on is because Chi-Chi's mother did something in the past, and I'm not gonna spoil what it is, but she did something in the past, and now Sunny and Chi-Chi have to fix it. It's on them. And that's not very fair because they didn't do it. So shouldn't it be Chi-Chi's mother that has to fix it? But that's not the way it is. They have to pay for Chi-Chi's mom's sins, and they have to fix it. Chi-Chi is also marked for death because of what her mother did, even though Chi-Chi did nothing. So like, that is a huge theme in this book, is paying for the sins of others. Overall, it was a good book. There was a couple like nitpicky things that I did not like. Through the whole series, Okorafor has a habit of saying sucking teeth. In the first 2 books, she says it so much. This character sucked their teeth. She sucked her teeth. How do you suck your teeth? Like, what is that? I don't like it. That's weird. But then in this book, it gets even weirder because instead of sucking teeth, she's changed it, and now she says kissing teeth. She kissed her teeth. They loudly kissed their teeth. How do you kiss your teeth? I hated every time that I read that phrase. I hated it. I did not like it. I did not. So that was like a nitpicky thing for me. I did not enjoy that. Now I'm gonna get into a little bit of spoilery talk here. So spoiler alert. So the thing that got to be a little too much for me is this book has worlds within worlds, like different dimensions. And so it started to feel a little more sci-fi instead of fantasy. I mean, it's still fantasy, but it just got to be a little much. And even Sunny herself is like, this is too much for my brain to process. And I was like, yeah, Sunny, I'm right there with you. This is a little bit too much for me. It was still well written, but it just was not what I was expecting, I guess. And so I just, I don't know, it just got to be a little too much for me. But overall, I feel like it did end well, and so I'm happy that I finished the trilogy, and I do think that if you read it, you won't be disappointed. It was a good ending. And so, I don't know. I guess read at your own discretion. It was a good end to the series for me, but I feel like it could have been better. If you've read this book or any of the others in the series, please chat with me in the comments about what you thought. I hope you guys have a lovely week. Hit like and subscribe. Thanks for talking books with me.